It's Greg Harrelson here again with Century 21 in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I got another question that I want to, bring in a professional into the office to answer. And again, we deal with a lot of people that are looking for vacation properties.
Mm-hmm.
People wanting to buy in the oceanfront, maybe they're buying on the golf course, but wherever they're buying, they're thinking about doing vacation rentals. And when they're looking at expenses, they're looking at profitability. Or when they're looking at profitability, they often look at expenses as well as revenue.
Of course, yeah.
But we're getting a lot of questions right now on, if I was to buy the property, what can I do to drive my expenses down to ultimately increase the profitability of these investments? So, what are you seeing? What are people doing to decrease their expenses right now?
Number one thing you can do is to find a good and honest rental company. Management company, one who focuses on your investment more than just adding a unit to the inventory. When they do so, they're more focused on driving profits and decreasing expenses and maximizing your return.
So one of the things that I think that you had mentioned in the past is, and this is kind of going out of the maybe the normal responsibilities of a management company, but one of the things that I think that you mentioned in the past is you've helped people appeal their taxes, and maybe their property value was assessed really high, and so their property taxes were $3,000 a year, when the reality is their real value of their property was a lot less, and when you help them appeal their taxes, they were able to get their prices, their property taxes down maybe 50%. Is that some of the things that you help people with?
Yeah, that's exactly one of the things we help people with. Just managing through and guiding them through the entire process of owning an investment property and managing the rentals. And one of them would be to provide advice on taxes.
Got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's also a lot of complaints on where management companies are constantly nickel and diming the property owners. It's like they're charging them for 100 light bulbs a year. I know that's just an exaggeration, but they feel like they're buying 100 remotes or 100 batteries, 100 light bulbs, 100 air filters every year, which seems to be a little bit excessive. Do you have management systems in control to kind of keep those expenses down to make sure that there's not a lot of waste?
Yeah, I mean, just inventory tracking for one, and make sure we're billing, what we should be billing to the owners. Often that inventory gets, lost, and and sometimes, some owners get billed for things they shouldn't have been billed for.
Yeah.
And that does happen. So having a good system in place, and billing the right items to the owner, yes, definitely.
So the two things that I think that you can take away today when it comes to driving down expenses on your investment property is, number one, why don't you talk to your rental manager, or you could even talk to us at Century 21 about looking at your property taxes and making sure that your property is assessed at the fair market value, because in the event that it's not, and there's a lot of people that are paying too much property taxes right now because they have not went to the proper government office to appeal their tax value. So number one is you could appeal your tax value, drive down the expenses on property taxes. That'll make your property more profitable. And then, as Eric says, is make sure that the company that you're renting your property through has really good inventory management systems in place to make sure that either you're not being billed for things that you're not using, or number two, that they're inspecting the properties consistently to make sure that you're not buying things before it's necessary. So hopefully that tip will help you. I'm Greg Harrelson with Century 21. This is Eric Hughes with Myrtle Beach Vacations. We hope to help you in the future.